on, Lyle. Good tune. It is the Thursday edition of the Random Kristian Show. That's right. We're here, we're loud, and we're rocking to Robert Palmer and the boys, or the girls, I guess, in this video. That's what, he's got his rocking little black dress female band that are not playing, but man, so sweet to look at. Anyway, yeah, I digress. Welcome to it, kids. Hey, how you doing? It is cold in the Midwest still. It's a big cold snap going through, and that's how the Midwest is. We're cold for a little while, and then hot and sweaty the rest of the time. So, Robert, Lyle, bring him down. There you go. Thank you, Lyle. Lyle the time out there, producer extraordinaire, sober today, and So speaking of addictions, well done, Lyle. All right, you didn't drink for past couple hours. Way to go, Lyle. All right, so there's that, and when I think of being addicted to things, I think of being addicted to talking with my buddy, Matthew. Matthew, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Not addicted to anything except for coffee and good times.
Yeah, baby. Here it is. I got some French rips going on.
Oh. I have some cheap coffee from Costco going on. It's
there you go.
And a little shout out to...
Who is that?
Maybe they can give me some good coffee.
Hold on, let me enlarge you here. Oh, now I can't see it. Hold it up a little closer. Who is that? Oh, Pete's Coffee. Oh yeah, dude, the Sergeant Dickinson's, I think it is, or Major Dickinson's.
Major.
That is a good blend of coffee there. Pete's, Pete's Coffee.
Quite good.
Yes, it's delicious. So Pete's
Coffee. I think that they closed the only one we had here in San Luis.
Oh, really? Reason. Yeah. We just get the coffee beans and stuff out here. That's about it. So.
Yeah. It wasn't in the most convenient location to stop in and just get a cup of coffee.
Yeah. So. Well, that's probably why they closed. So.
Yeah.
Location. But maybe they didn't. Location.
I don't know.
That's why
I do love their coffee.
I'm centrally located here in the Midwest. Right in the middle of the U.S., so that way I broadcast evenly everywhere. North, south, east, west.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So, and speaking of which, we want to, where'd it go? Where is my...
I don't know. I'm trying to...
Welcome back to the show, sponsored by Free Range Chicken Poop Lip Junk. Yeah, that's right. No real chicken poop used or harmed in the making of chicken poop, but it's awesome, and we're hopefully one day going to be sponsored by them or somebody.
See, I thought you said you sponsored by, and I got really excited for a second because I was like, "Ooh, they finally did it, right?" But
no,
that's a bummer.
I'm practicing. It's positive affirmations, and
there you go.
As long as we keep pushing the positivity of it, then hopefully we'll get it. So, yeah. Speaking of which, Pete's Coffee, Lamar's Donuts, I actually reached out to them, and they did give me a thumbs up on liking us. So, that's always a positive.
Closer.
Yep.
One step closer.
Free apple fritters. Giant, massive, as big as your head apple fritters. So, because we want to have fun tonight and Wang Chung everything tonight. That's what it's about. Wang Chung and being addicted to apple fritters. Because today's show is all about addictions, or if they're actually really addictions or just very bad habits, or if we just really like things a lot and make it an addiction. Because I'm thinking, and I'm going to open up the chat here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook Live, Twitter, please feel free to type in your comments and suggestions here. I can probably vocally answer a lot of them. Apparently, there is some restrictions on what we reply to. So if you don't see a typed reply, just know that we are listening, and I will mention, and we will post it up here on the screen as well. So see, because I can just do well. I haven't gotten any comments yet, so I can't post anything, but it's there.
If you wanted to, maybe you could.
See? Whoa, right there. That could be you. Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Your message here for a small fee of $10.
Yeah. Hey, and that's the other thing. Let's like and subscribe the pages wherever you listen on. See, okay, here we go. Boom. Paul, he is prepared. So, Paul,
I am prepared.
Actually,
he's not
Paul,
a robot, though.
He's Paul, not prepared. But, unless he's changing his name to prepared.
Hola.
No.
Me llamo pre-prepared. How do I?
Yeah. If you enjoy the show, if you like us, hey, give us a like. Subscribe on YouTube, or follow us on Twitter. Here, let's go back to this here for a second. Here we are on Twitter at Kristian Random, which again, I'm really kind of bummed out they couldn't at least give me Random Kristian, but everything else was taken that followed along our title.
Potato.
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 And then we're also, the Random Kristian on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. So wherever you follow us, join in and like if you're interested. We're trying to put some money together. We're getting some graphics made, and I want to make some stickers and T-shirts and stuff. So if you guys want to donate a little bit until we get a little more popular and actually do get some sponsors, Lamar's Donuts in Kansas City, who make delicious, yummy donuts.
Slodoco in San Luis Obispo, who also
they don't have a
donuts.
page. They don't have a page, dude.
Really?
Yeah, not a Facebook, not a Twitter. I looked them up. I was trying to include them in.
They have a Instagram. They used to. I used to follow them on Instagram.
Wow.
Really? That's really weird about the Facebook thing.
Yeah, you would think, hello, and Twitter, and, I mean, hey, we're even on Twitter. Come on now. Step up into the times. I'm sorry, I'm enjoying my coffee. That's delicious. Like Pete's coffee. Delicious. Okay, yeah, we're really trying to push the sponsorship thing here. Sorry.
It's Slow Donut Co. on Facebook.
Okay. Well,
and
hey.
I just liked them.
All right.
I can't believe I didn't before.
Yeah, what's up with that, dude?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk about lagging.
Dude, slacker.
But yeah, Slow Donut Co., commonly known as Slodoco.
Okay. And then what's this? Paul's saying Slodoco is number 2.
Who's number 1?
Yeah. Now we want to know. Inquiring minds.
Who is number 1?
But yeah,
in the donut game in San Luis, and don't say Sunshine Donut because they haven't been number 1.
They weren't that good when I was there.
Yeah,
I was not impressed with them back then. But I actually enjoyed the store donuts. They're better than Sunshine Donuts.
What's weird is the one up in Atascadero, which he's probably going to say is number 1, is actually really good.
Yeah,
it's like one of those weird things.
It depends on who's making it.
Yeah, well, and the family that ran that one, super great people. They were right next door to what was Yazoo's before we opened up Cool Cat Cafe.
Right.
And every morning I would get either a blueberry muffin, which I love blueberry muffins, or donut holes.
Yeah. Awesome. And so you're addicted to donut holes and in donuts.
I
aren't
just
you?
really enjoy donut holes. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to them.
Oh,
Haven't had them
see?
in years, and well, next time I go to the donut store, I'll probably get some now.
So what you're saying is there is a fine line between addiction and I'm trying to make sure I'm in the camera. Fine line between addictions and really liking something.
Yeah,
A
well, I
lot.
mean, addiction is you can't stop.
Oh.
I mean, that's when you're addicted, right? I mean,
Uh-oh. Hang on, our Facebook feed is not working. Huh. So it says that we're on there.
and my brother's on there,
Yeah.
although he hasn't replied.
So I wonder if there was a little glitch or something. Yeah, it's showing that we're on Facebook, dude. But thank you for letting me know. But maybe it's the connection you've got. I'm not sure. But thank you for saying something and letting us know. Let's see. What is it?
I wonder if there was a little glitch or something.
Oh,
Yeah, it's showing
wow.
that we're on Facebook, dude.
Yeah.
But
So
thank
there
you
we
for
are.
letting me know. But
Sunshine, A-Town, Es No Bueno. They bought DJs, then retired. Well, there we go. Now we're updated on the Central Coast Donut Sitch.
And I'm gonna be uncomfortably moving around for a minute as I try to get more comfortable in this chair. So ignore me. Okay, now don't ignore me. I'm back.
We're not ignoring. We never ignored you, Matt. But hey, and please don't ignore us. If, like again, I said, like us, subscribe, and donate if you want. All right, guys. Anyway, so here we are. We are talking all about addictions and whether there are things. Matt, okay. Let's start off with some of the most obvious things that people are addicted to. There's
Heroin.
the old. Wow.
Oh no, not that heavy right away.
Literally going for the smackdown. Okay, so start off with the smackaroonies. Now, okay, and thank you, Glenn.
Well, just because we have a opioid problem in this country right now.
We do, and it's
We've
not
had
just
one for
through
quite a while, but
yeah, I was gonna say it's been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
And of course now things started off, as a good thing. They were using it to medicinally treat people with the and this goes back into the old days, before what was this back in the
1800s.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least 1800s. They discovered the power of the poppy seed, and it was far out, man. Is what it was, man. That's what I want to say. Poppy was cool, man. That's why I get on my bagels. I'm just okay.
There's been a lot of wars fought over poppy seeds, though.
There still is.
There still is, and some people would argue it's not about oil in some places.
Right.
It's about moving heroin, moving opium.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. And I knew I was going to see a little chime in on this. The only opioid problem is that people who need it can't get it anymore. This is a good point that's being made by a private person here through one of my feeds. So, and yeah, that is a good point. And the problem is, again, it's one of those things that started out, we were trying to help out, and then it, it's such a powerful source that there's no easy way of coming off of these things. Honestly, in my past, I have experimented with heroin. Was such a powerful, cool man.
I tried it. I didn't like it. I was bored.
I really didn't like it because, just getting sick. right
Yeah,
off the bat, just
I
to get
didn't,
high was
I didn't
not
get
cool.
sick. They thought they're going to give me enough that I would get sick and just be like, oh, no, I didn't get sick. I was just bored the whole time. You're just like, really? This is boring.
This is what everybody's raving about.
Like
Wow.
I mean, I like to, back in the day, smoked all kinds of weed, but I'd still go do stuff.
Yeah.
But heroin was just
No,
boring.
it really didn't do for me what it's done
Yeah.
for a lot of people, and I'm glad because, I mean, well, I'm not going to say that because there was one point there for a while I was like, okay, I kind of get it now, and I was, but it made, I don't know, it made my face feel really weird. I don't know why. Um, anyway, not going to
You
get
want
into the
to know
whole
something
description.
funny about that? Like I didn't like
Face, there's
heroin.
something
Like it was like
funny about my face. Do I look like a tube?
no,
Huh? Am I
you
here
do
for
a
your
little bit,
amusement?
but not a
Yeah.
lot. But opium, on the other hand, not
Mm-hmm.
heroin, but
Right.
opium.
The derivative, yes.
I could have seen myself getting quite hooked on opium if it was more available.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was something about that I did overly enjoy that I didn't get from heroin. Oddly
Okay.
enough, I don't know why. I don't know what the reason is or anything, but yeah, who
Okay.
knows?
I'm sorry. I'm getting another private message here about this. A person so large they can barely move can buy at Costco, but someone uh, can buy a 50-pound bag of sugar at Costco, but someone gripped in mortal pain. All because the BS epidemic, social justice, warrior BS.
Well, here's what's
Sears
crazy.
Roebuck did used to deliver, yeah, and before the AMA and Big Pharma, yes, absolutely. I'm not arguing with any of that. There, Big Pharma is a major problem in
Well,
our world.
I think something crazy about what he's saying is that if you or I or someone in chronic pain needs an opioid of some kind to help them with it that actually truly needs it, seems like you have to jump through so many hoops to get to the final thing, and then they're like super stingy about it. And then, but on the other hand, then you have these doctors that just pass it out willy nilly. Like, where are these
Right.
doctors for the people that actually need it? And it's just such a
Because
it blows me away that how can it be such a problem, but the people that need it can't get it?
right,
And
because the people that
are
need it don't have the money for it. They don't
well, the
have the
people
health insurance
that
for
don't need it don't really have the money for it either. And that's
it.
I think that's that's where
It-
a lot of theft from stores, and a lot of people will shoplift and then return stuff for money to get
Right, to get their addiction, which could be many of
yeah,
things. We're just kind of focusing on the opiates and
right.
opioids, but yeah, and trust me, been there, done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I never did that, but I don't judge you
I think
for doing
you are.
that. I mean, people, you got to
I
do what
think
you got
you
to
are.
do, right?
I think you're bringing me down, and I think
A
you're
little
really
bit, maybe, but not a lot.
no. You're calling me out, and that's fine. Like I said, man, I've had a past. I'm not ashamed of it. It's important to be able to admit your faults and your failures, and uh, I've done a lot of different drugs. I'm not gonna lie, but how I know we've been really harping on the opioid thing, but we're doing the drugs right now because I want to get also into a few other things that aren't considered, mainstream addictions, but um, so the especially now that it's legalized marijuana. but I don't see. I mean, I walked away from actually I walked away from most of the drugs fairly easy. For me, all was super hard. Alcohol and nicotine. But
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think that like marijuana has a very strong physical addiction attached to it. It's,
right,
it's more mental, but even the mental addiction is something that after a week or two, you don't notice it. Like when I used to heavily smoke weed, about every 3 years or so, I would would um, I'd quit
yeah,
for a few
Tim,
months
very mellow.
just to kind of clear the cobwebs. And my wife was asking me, well, if you needed to clear the cobwebs, then why did you smoke it all the time? I don't know. But you can walk away from it. Like you
Yeah,
said, it's
hey,
not like for the first couple of days, you might go, man, I really want to get high, but you don't. And after a while,
because you're still and the thing about this, and I'm not trying to cut you off, but I think I get what you're saying because yeah, okay, you're trying to quit, so then the next day you fall into this glitch. I mean, you're in a routine, you know,
yeah.
and you work getting high into a routine around your life, so it's like people who who are trying to quit smoking. The first thing they usually do, wake up, have coffee and a cigarette. Am I wrong?
When I
Okay.
smoke, that's
Right.
first thing, barely open your eyes, but you got to pour a cup of coffee and wander outside and go light up that stogie. And
Right. And you're firing it up.
yeah,
So,
wake up about halfway through and go, oh, I'm going to need another one of these.
okay. So it's a routine. So same thing with smoking dope, except or marijuana as they like to call it.
Well,
And yeah,
except that I
Amelia,
think
you're a dick. I
nicotine
don't
is
care what you say.
way more addicting than THC.
Uh,
When I quit smoking a dozen times before I finally actually was able to quit. Whereas when I quit smoking pot, like about a decade or so ago, over a decade, it's like almost 15 years now. When I quit smoking pot, I quit.
right. You just walked away from it. Boom,
Yeah,
done.
missed it and everything, but
But it wasn't something like after you got out of your little routine, you weren't like, oh God, dude, I need a bong hit.
right,
No.
right. Where's smoking? Oh my lord! Uh,
Oh yeah, dude.
I had to start going to a different gas station than the one that I used to buy cigarettes at. No, seriously. I mean, like, how messed up is that? Like, in order to break it fully for about a couple of months, I stopped going to that gas station until I
Yeah.
could go in there and just get gas and not look at the cigarettes and go, "Oh my lord, my babies, why are you all back there? I'll smoke every one of you." Like honestly, I
Yeah. Now I'm going to
jerk.
what? What
Yeah.
happened here? So over 2 years after Paul's saying he stuttered 2 years after I quit smoking marijuana, and then follows up with, "Hold on, I'm going to go outside and have the smoke." Well, Paul, you're a dick.
Yeah, he
It's
is.
kind of like listening to Barry Manilow music, which I think
I
Mr.
write the
Tim
songs that make
has
the
quite
whole
the
world
addiction to,
sing.
um, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be proud of it too. So, yeah, because that's what Tim right there very proudly posts. Just Barry Manilow. Yeah, I think he's addicted to it. And there is a 12-step program for Manilows. It's called the Manilow Removal System, which involves a large drill gun and frontal lobotomy. So,
And making people listen to Captain and Tennille.
oh, dude, don't. Oh, God, don't. No, no, no. Okay, so moving on. Dude, now
So so
I
so so
had
back
I
back
love.
to back to the alcohol and cigarettes, nicotine.
What
I
did you do?
alcohol is a crazy one to quit.
Yes, and alcohol was like I said. I was going to say, cocaine. I literally just one day went, nope, done. Um,
Never
Marijuana,
did enough of that.
I lingered around with for a little bit, but then I was just like, I'm just tired of being bored. I mean, I used to do a lot of fun stuff. I used to go skateboarding and surfing, whatever, or skimboarding. I used to do a lot of fun things when I'd get high back when I was younger. But then as I got older, it was, just something to kind of do every now and
Pass the
then.
time.
Yeah. And then I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm done with it. Hey, Lau, um, pull this up. So you're a moron. Yes. So,
But would you ever say you were addicted to cocaine or marijuana?
oh, Coke, I was definitely addicted to.
Were you?
Oh yeah, dude. I dealt it. I did
Yeah.
corn
Wow.
cocaine. And then I remember, when I'd run out, I'd just be like, hey, 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 bugging people.
Mm.
And dude,
And that must have
it
been
wasn't good.
before I met you because I don't remember.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was definitely, I pretty much walked away from it before we had started hanging out and whatnot.
Because you
Do
mostly
it a couple
drank when I
times,
met
but
you.
yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
you were drunk and I was stoned. I mean, that
Yeah.
was our.
We were quite the pair.
I didn't really drink,
No,
and you
you
didn't
didn't
really
really drink.
smoke.
I didn't really smoke, but together we smoked and drank quite a bit, I
Yeah,
shall
we did.
admit.
Although we could sometimes, I don't want to bring up bad anything, but remember getting those Trappist beers, the Belgian beers,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
getting hammered off one. You're just like, oh my God,
yeah.
those monks are onto something there.
Well, and then
But
me, I was trying to get the most bang for my bucks and start drinking King Cobra malt liquor
oh God, that
just
old
to
English. Remember going with you to the grocery store. I got to get a couple 40s of old English.
and then I'd
My
always
Lord,
ask for them
buddy.
in the bag so I could be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm
What are you
I
going to do?
and the funny thing was when I quit drinking, um when was it? It was almost 15 years ago. And
Wow.
I was on it was Father's Day. I was on my back deck and I was outside drinking and smoking by myself cuz nobody would really hang out with me. Um and it was cheaper to be drinking at home anyway. Um and just to give you an idea of the alcoholic I was, which I know Matt, you knew, but I would, and this is the point I had gotten to, Matt. The very large size bottles of Jägermeister that they
Uh
put in
huh.
the Jägermeister machines.
Yeah.
I would drink one of those a night, plus
Uh,
a 12 pack of talls. Okay, Miller High Life talls.
mm,
Okay, I would have another set, as I called them, which was another large bottle of Jägermeister, and another 12 pack of Miller High Life talls in the fridge or freezer, ready to go. And if I got through the first set, I'd have that to finish, and I'd pass out every night. I did that
uh,
5 to 6 nights out of the week, every night.
that's insane. Like, um, I that reminds me. I worked at a place called Beverages and More out here
Hmm.
on the West Coast, Bevmo, for a little while when I lived up in the city, and I worked the register, and I
Uh,
had a guy come in, started coming in. He was a construction worker, ran a backhoe, and they're doing a little project near uh, where our store was. So he started coming in, and he started coming to my line like all the time because I BS with people. I like people for the
right.
most part, and but he would buy a 2 quarts of this woodchuck cider, just pretty decent, cheap
Woodchuck
cider.
cider?
Yeah, but he'd buy 2 quarts of it, right? And
Yeah.
then he would buy a fifth of really like like really decent tequila, not like crazy expensive tequila, but not cheap tequila. But like he would come in at around 10 o'clock every day, and he would buy this, and it'd be like $40 or whatever. So he spent $40 a day just buying from what I sold him, and it was like, oh, like do you must you and your friends must really like tequila. Like, oh no.
No,
So the woodchuck,
I love
he's
it,
like,
though.
we're on our first break right now. He's all finished that, and then at lunch, I'll finish it with lunch, and then all afternoon I'll have the second one sitting between my legs while I'm operating the backhoe, and just drink for the rest of the afternoon. And
I
then
knew
as
was
soon as he
operating
got
a
home,
backhoe, dude.
he'd crack open the tequila when he'd get home and finish it.
Wow.
By himself, not sharing. So
Right.
I mean Jägermeister. Wow. I mean, were you getting bloaty too? Because that's a lot of sugar.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine. Like,
Matt, I almost hit 300 pounds.
oh wow, that's insane.
Yeah. In fact, I still I don't know why. I still have some clothes because I think I can get them tailored. Like I just finally made peace with a suit. It was a suit I've worn 3 times.
Wow.
And it was back right after I quit drinking. And I mean, it's huge. It's, it looks like the Talking Heads.
Oh, right.
Burn suit. That's what it looks like on me, literally.
Wow.
I mean, I like even, my stepson was getting married. He got married last year, and I actually went to go try it on. Just, maybe I can get it tailored down. And my wife goes, you can make 2 suits out of that. You're not getting that tailored down. We're just going to buy some nice new stuff. I was like, okay, fine. I don't know. I was just being cheap or whatever. Which, I can be at times. Yes. Broke alcoholics are, they start hitting the malt liquor.
Yeah, that old English man.
Oh, dude. Now, King Cobra, brother. That was, I remember back in the day, it was what, $1.59 for the 40 ounce. Remember? That was my.
I didn't buy it. Because when I would drink with you, I would always get like some Guinness or
you get a big old fancy beer,
or I get a fancy British beer or a fancy European beer. Or if I was just drinking cheap beer, I would get a quart of Miller High Life. But
because you're a beer snob.
Yeah. Life's too short to drink shit. So,
that's true.
I mean, you can drink piss, but don't drink the shit. Excuse my language.
But it was, my addiction, I was functional. I was a very functional alcoholic. I held my job because I wanted to drink.
And you told me at one point after you quit working at the restaurant that you were drunk the entire time you worked at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I never noticed.
I kept a bottle of Jaeger in the ice machine there.
Yeah, I obviously didn't notice you functioned fairly well. I mean, it's the same thing. Like we worked with a couple of tweakers that functioned really well.
Right.
But like you wouldn't know it except that they were always like ready to do stuff. Like, oh yeah, you need me to do that. That's fine. I'll go do that right now. But they could work, and I've worked with ones that couldn't work. So
yeah. Then see, dude, when I started getting into meth and all that, I literally couldn't. I didn't want to be anywhere. I'd stay at home because I was smoking it.
And so everything was like,
because I started out
sketchy.
snorting, because I was a big cokehead, but when I found out that meth was cheaper and kept you wigged out and you could drink a lot with it, hey, boom. It's kind of like when you take acid and you can just sit there and drink beers after beers after beers. It doesn't affect you, but it tastes so good, and you're just like, yeah. So
I've never. What kind of drug did you say?
Acid.
I didn't. some kind of acid, huh? Like citric acid? Something?
No, LSD acid, you smutty ass.
Uh,
Paul's going to
that
give
stuff
me
got
805.
boring for me after a while.
Yeah. No,
Same
it's
thing every time. Like, eh.
right.
And even, I mean, when I lived in the city, first one of the Tuesdays of the month was free museum. You could go to the museums for free.
Right.
So you drop a tab and hop on the bus and go check
Hop
out
on
art,
the bus,
man.
Gus.
Art's cool.
Don't need to
But
discuss much. Oh, and by the way, Timelia, here's a little song for you. Just thought I'd throw this in as background music while we're discussing tripping out.
Muskrat, muskrat.
Yeah, because muskrats are trippy.
Late in the evening,
Have you never heard
so
this?
who's
blazing.
what's going on there? Who's Cheryl
What's that?
Smith?
Oh, hang on.
Muskrat Sam.
I don't know. Some new subscriber here. Cheryl, let's see what you got to say. Replying to Paul Eskridge.
Sam is so
Texas, she is helping everyone. I just received money into my Cash App. This is interesting. Somebody might be spamming. You know.
Ooh, our first spammers! Ah. Well, Cheryl,
welcome to the
if you have anything else to say, please. What's your addiction? Spamming shows. I mean,
Yeah,
Let us know how that works out.
yeah, because I could use some extra cash, Cheryl. So slip some our way, and we'll get those T-shirts and stickers made up a whole lot sooner. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Woo! Bring it on, Cheryl.
Wonder where that's at.
I have no idea.
Can't. My brain's not counting back very well. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Paul says he's on it.
Hey Siri,
Hey.
where's the area code 623?
Isn't that like it's
results I found. Cash in, Arizona.
Arizona.
yeah.
Arizona.
There you go.
Arizona. Avondale.
So somewhere in Arizona.
Yeah. Bring it on, girl. All right.
Far out,
And
man.
follow us on Twitter. There you go. At Kristian Random.
So exciting.
And by the way, Timelia, this song is for you. Yeah. So
I love this song, by the way. I'm a big old Captain and Tennille fan from back in the day when I was a kid. This song,
there it is, and there's the muskrats talking. Yeah, Captain and Tennille, 70s flashback, just like a bad acid trip. All right.
So I only brought her up because I was going down a rabbit hole on Wikipedia listening to Pink Floyd. She sang the backup vocals on the album The Wall, some of the backup vocals.
The Tennille?
Yeah.
No.
According to Wikipedia,
Oh, well,
she's
then it's gotta
credited
be
with
true.
it. I'm sure it is. No, actually, it really wouldn't surprise me because the Captain was a studio musician for a lot of people. He did work with the Beach Boys. I think he may have even toured with the Beach Boys.
I'm sure. Yeah, he's pretty talented. Dude.
And Pink Floyd did record down in L.A. So,
oh yeah, there was some major studios there. So
one or two.
One or two. So yeah. Now, okay, let's move away from the whole drug thing. Now, do you think coffee and addiction?
I would say yeah. I'd say I am addicted to caffeine.
Yeah, I mean,
I could probably quit it, and after about a week, my headache might go away,
right?
If necessary. But yeah, I would say it's addictive. Coffee is addictive. Caffeine, tea, black tea, green tea, all that non-herbal stuff.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, tea, I don't know, but I
Black
guess
tea.
everybody's different, you know. It's like
tea has more caffeine in it than a cup of coffee. Generally speaking.
yeah, but see, tea doesn't affect me that way. It's really weird. I don't know.
Maybe it's some other
Coffee.
chemical.
Well, I'm chemically imbalanced, I'm sure. I mean,
so
just look at me.
Restores the balance.
Now, and okay, so we're gonna go into. I mean, we're starting to work down the road towards foods, and now I know there's a lot of there's Overeaters Anonymous and things like that because people do get addicted. I mean, again, it's also a routine. And it's a routine that people get you get stuck in a rut. And I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I think you also get into a rut, and it's comforting,
right? Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
It's reassuring. Because I believe like I said on a different show, humans really like patterns. A pattern. If you can see a pattern that's very I want to say pleasing. I know that's not the right word, but it's so you get into these routines of eating, and it's just comforting.
Okay. Well, yes, and that was exactly my point. You get in this a rut, a routine. You're sitting there watching TV. You got to have some chips.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to have chips and a soda. And the thing about it is, a lot of the foods, especially nowadays, are made with. And Doritos, nacho cheese Doritos. Frito-Lay has actually admitted to the fact that yes, we have a chemical in there that addicts you to this. You can Google it, you can Wikipedia it all you want. It's right there. They aren't afraid of admitting it. Yeah, because we want you to keep eating chip after chip after chip after chip.
Yeah.
There is an addictive chemical in it. It's it's like one of my favorite lines from So I Married an Axe Murderer. The dad, played by Mike Myers, he talks about the colonel being a conspiracy bastard because he puts an addictive chemical in his chicken that makes you crave it fortnightly. And it's true. I'm not gonna lie. I can eat Kentucky Fried Chicken quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a what's it called? Salt. It's I don't know.
I'm sure it's a completely legal.
Oh yeah.
Flavor enhancer of some kind that's not MSG.
Yeah.
That's FDA approved as a food additive. And yeah, I mean,
it is. It's and that's what they said. It's part of the makeup that makes. That's why other nacho cheese chips taste different. But there is something about it that makes you want to have it more and more. And there's a lot of foods that just have sugar, which your body, once it starts producing all this stuff to process that sugar, it gets used to that, and it does become an addiction. Because
this person's claiming it's MSG.
Who's that? Where? What am I saying?
I'm seeing this on. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up somewhere.
Doing some fact checking. Awesome.
I don't want to purchase.
So the now
and I'm not gonna. God damn it!
See,
sorry.
Yes, thank you.
The internet's pissing me off.
I don't have a dump button, so I can't put you on delay. Kind of like I'm a little addicted to chicken poop, free range lip balm. Okay, so we made that, and it smells like fruity pebbles in a way. It's very delicious. All right, again, free range chicken poop. Sponsor us. Gotcha. Okay. So yes, the whole physical addiction to food, but I think there's also a fine line where there's the routine of just eating, again, like you said, it's a comfort thing, which we all are guilty of doing. You know, you're on a long drive, you grab a bag of chips or some popcorn, or there's something.
Well, there's a crazy thing when we drive out of LA. You
Mhm,
come up on 101 and you come up over the hill out of the basin, right? And
mhm,
you drop into Ventura County.
yeah,
There's a McDonald's just a little more ways up and off. And if we don't go there and get chicken nuggets, it just feels weird. Like you're driving and all of a sudden you're in Santa Barbara going, why do I feel uncomfortable? It's like, well, because I think we didn't stop for those chicken nuggets.
why didn't you stop at In-N-Out Burger? It's just another exit up.
No, but it's chicken nuggets. There's something about, because we've done it so many times, that when you
Yeah.
come out of LA and you see that McDonald's up on that hill. One time at night we went through and they were closed, oddly closed, really early, and it just really messed everything up. But that's what you're talking about. It's part of a pattern we had set when you come home from LA.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, routine.
And so you not doing it doesn't feel right.
Yeah. And I totally get it. It's like, you used to, well, back when there was a couple of places that I'd always stop, and there was a place in Mountain View that I'd stop and get this amazing burrito. It was like this big and this big. It was awesome. And they'd cut it in half for you, but wrap it in foil so you could eat. And this was way back before Chipotle and all these kind of places. It was just a little small mom and pop run store that had a Mexican food in it. And you just sit there and go along the line, kind of like you do at Chipotle, and say, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. And they just sit there and keep piling stuff in for you. And anyway, so yeah, food, I think, can also just be a routine. And routines are meant to be broken. I mean, habits, and which again, habit, routine, it's all really kind of, I think, bordering on the same line. I had a couple people that I was trying to get in here that that wanted well, Isaac, of course. Isaac is studying psychology and all this, and he wanted to be on, but he just his new school schedule isn't allowing him to be on here, because I know he'd have a lot of great input on this, because we've talked about this off.
No, I'm kind of bummed he didn't join us.
Yeah, and then I had another lady. Remember Kurt Vignery, the workout guy? His wife is a life coach and counselor and stuff, and she has a lot of good perspectives. But yeah, adrenaline junkies, yes. Oh, absolutely. Paul's bringing up the fact that people are addicted to risky behavior or being adrenaline junkies, and I think that there is a physical addiction into that. You get yourself so fired up, it creates a high.
And you get the endorphin rush,
right? The endorphin.
You just want
all that.
Want that again and again and again, man.
Oh yeah, it's like okay. Surfing. Okay. The only reason I really quit surfing and went to skimboarding is because I got very scared after a friend of mine passed away surfing. And I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, but it freaked me out. And I just started, kind of really making a commitment, getting into surfing, and like where I could actually, catch a wave and but my problem was like I said, I stated what my problem was, why I got out of it and went to just skimboarding. It felt safer for me, even though I think there's arguments that could be very much against that. But the rush of catching that wave, oh my God, the first time I did it, I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And yeah, it wasn't a huge wave or anything, but just riding that wave and riding it for a while. I obviously fell down not too long after I first caught it, but then I was like, oh no, we're going back out. I was so wiped out that first day that I actually figured out how to catch a wave and ride it. And yeah, I did pretty good after a while. And, you know, I got to the point where I could surf waves decent. But that rush was just so, and yeah, I wanted it more and more and more. I mean, and you want it on bigger waves, you want it on faster waves, and then sometimes you want a slow mushy wave just to kind of play around on, you know, and then like, you know, you catch a tube. Oh, dude, a tube ride is just that's like the penultimate thing. You just once you feel that thing sucking up over you and you're like, oh God, I mean, the rush is like, am I going to get swallowed up? And then you're like pushing your board and kind of wiggling around. And then the next thing you know, you're out and you're away from it and you just pull up over the wave and you're like, holy crap, that was amazing. And because, you know, if you get sucked over, you're going to get shoved into a reef or a sandbar or wherever you're surfing. And it rocks. And it is an amazing adrenaline rush, and yeah, endorphins, insane. But yeah, so yeah, I totally see that these guys that go jumping off cliffs, base jumping. I think in the parkour guys, you know, which I think is absolutely amazing. Some of it I think is kind of dumb.
Yeah, I would say some of it's really cool to watch, but
yeah,
I watch like the X Games, you know, the different crazy stuff they do on there, and it's fun to watch, but
absolutely,
I don't need.
Which, you know, I want to try and get my friend Dave Nelson, the surf photographer. I want to get him on because I know he's done a lot of skate photography, but surf photography is his main thing, and he's been a lot of major magazines, met a lot of major surf surfers, and I know he's got some stories that would just be amazing to hear. So I'm going to work on trying to get him on the show. So, but that being said, yeah, adrenaline. Yeah, that's an excellent point, Paul. Thank you for bringing that up.
I had a weird adrenaline addiction kind of thing that, like, I don't think anyone else in the world, unless you're a cook, would understand. But there's something about being in the middle of a rush.
Oh yeah,
like just tickets piling in, and you're just like in this zone where just like everything's just clicking and clicking and clicking, and then it just feels so good while you're doing it. But as soon as that rush is over, you're just like, I need more of that. Like, come on, where's everybody? Like, give me more. I want that. But that's the same kind of thing. Like, that's as far as my.
But see, and that can apply to a lot of different jobs. And yes, Paul, there are a lot of people that are addicted to drama, especially lately. You're not wearing a mask. God. Can you pull your mask up? Why are you wearing a mask? He needs to be removed from the store. And I'm not saying I know that from personal experience, but anyway. So
my wife makes our masks, and she makes ones extra big for me with like nice wire right here, so my glasses don't fog up.
Yeah, see, and that's half my problem, especially because I work outside, and when it's cold,
you need a mask that actually fits you.
Well, it doesn't even matter, dude. Once you're outside and you're breathing, because I have one that will work on the inside, you know. But once I'm outside and it's 10 degrees, that fog is just it doesn't matter.
Just
even if you don't have a mask on, it's still getting there, and so that's why I just don't wear one outside. But anyway, you know what you're talking about, that adrenaline rush from being at your work, and all of a sudden you get that rush of the tickets just piling up, and you're sitting there and you're calling out orders and stuff. Then you know it's the same thing like at my work. All of a sudden, we'll get a bunch of trucks in that we got to get broken, get these guys out, and by X amount of time, and you start there's some days where it's just unavoidable. You're screwed.
Right.
You just make the best out of it, the best you can, which is kind of an adrenaline rush. But then there's also the days where you're like, you look at your watch and you're like, I can get this done if I just, do this
But
and
when
this.
when everything clicks,
Yeah.
the rush of that click is just, oh,
Yeah. It's amazing. It's awesome.
give me that crazy smoothness again, man. I mean, which, well, but I mean, so I can understand like people that do like whitewater rafting and stuff,
Yeah.
because when you get or surfing, when you get that ride that like
Yeah. That
should
one
just
wave.
be should destroy you,
Hmm.
but it doesn't. Everything like just is
Yeah.
perfect.
Or
That
like,
rush of that perfection is just, it's sometimes too much.
yeah. And it's like, I used to love, street skating was one of my favorite things. And, you sit there and street skating, for people who don't always get it, what we're talking about. Street skating is just going out right around the street, but you're riding
Everything's a
embankments.
skatable
Yeah.
obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finding those lines, where you ride and maximize the fun out of it is awesome. And there's some days where you're just out there kind of riding around. And you're like, nah, well, whatever. And then there's those days where you're like, oh, dude, I found this one little embankment and it was right off this hill. And if you hit the hill just right and you come down and there's nobody coming on the traffic and, you know, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, again, goes back to adrenaline rush. But, and then, you can find that in a lot of things. Like you said, your work. When I was painting, you sit there and, they're like, we got to have this house done by X amount of, time. And so you get in there and you're like, all right, fine. And you just go in and just rock it out, and you get your prep work all done. And then, it's just, everything's like you said, just everything starts clicking. Doom, 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 doom. Next thing you know, it's 7:00 at night and you're like, nailed it. What's up?
Yeah.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Do that again, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So huge thing with the adrenaline rush.
And I think you can get addicted to just about anything if you want to bring it back around to routines and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because my wife and I were talking about this subject last night, because I'm like, all I can come up with was, I'm addicted to caffeine. I was addicted to nicotine. Mm-hmm. So I managed to drop that monkey off my back, which was crazy. Like if I ever go back and tell my 16-year-old self any advice, just don't start smoking.
Yeah.
Just it's not worth it. But I'm addicted. I made a joke. I'm like, well, all I can think of is like I'm addicted to air and I'm addicted to sleep. I would literally die without air. And I can't seem to get enough sleep, man. Just can't get enough of that sweet, sweet sleep.
Oh, dude.
But she's like, well, you're addicted to these little cough drops. Every night before I get in bed, I pop a cough drop in my mouth.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, but I mean, I can stop. She's like, but you don't. I'm like, okay, so okay, I'm addicted to
and that's the other thing I want to throw out. A lot of it has to do with willpower. Do you actually want to stop just because you're enjoying something? Okay. And yes, again, we go back to routine and it's a habit, which I think are kind of hand in hand in a way. But if there's something, and obviously, heroin, certain drugs, bad for you, just drain your body and shorten your lifespan, nicotine, smoking or chewing, whatever, which I did both. So I was guilty of both. It was, and for some reason, chewing justified me even more because, I'm not ruining my lungs. No, but that nicotine is getting into your bloodstream and it gets in far more intense. And I'll tell you what.
I think there's worse chemicals in
there's glass,
cigarettes
there's
and
ground
nicotine.
glass.
There's way other worse things.
Yeah.
And the tar, and I mean the nicotine, it gets you hooked, but and in big enough quantities, it will kill you, but
mm-hmm.
I think the worst thing is that it's addictive. I vaped for years using it to get off of nicotine, dwindling down to zero nicotine in my little vape juices and
Right.
stuff, and got to the point where I built my own like coils in tanks and stuff. And it's funny, this little ammo can back here has it has the remnants of my vaping career in it. Bunch
Right.
of coil making stuff is in there, and I keep it as a reminder.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I mean,
And that's the thing, I actually have I don't think I have it in here, but I have an old I used to go to this one liquor store so much, they'd give me free Jägermeister promotional stuff. I mean, seriously, I had like several Jägermeister
so you were
t-shirts.
the Jägermeister man.
Oh yeah, every time
they get something to go, oh, I know who wants this.
Yeah, every time they'd see me pull in, they would already have my stuff up at the counter for me because they knew exactly what I wanted. 2 packs of smokes, Marlboro Reds, and then I also would get a big bottle of Jägermeister and the Miller High Life Talls, and they'd have it ready for me each and every time. That's how pathetic I was. So why is this? Wow.
I have to say, I have to thank my brother's wife, my sister-in-law, when I was getting down to vaping. No flavor, no nicotine. Just go to the health food store and you get a bottle of vegetable glycerin, VG. I was just vaping that because it makes clouds. And I was vaping that, and because I still hadn't gotten rid of the hand to mouth part of the addiction yet. I'd kicked nicotine, not a problem. Like I said, it took a while, but I got it out. But I remember one Thanksgiving, I had spent entire Thanksgiving day not vaping.
Yeah.
And the next day, because they used to, when they lived here, they would stay over for the weekend, and we'd hang out and go do stuff and whatnot. And I miss that, guys, BTW. But the next morning after Thanksgiving, I bust out my little vape device and started puffing away on it. She's like, oh, I didn't see you use that at all yesterday. I'm like, oh, because I didn't. Like after 9 a.m., I had put it away and we were busy doing other things. And she's like, well, so why do you still use it? And I said, what? Because I don't know.
I didn't have an answer.
No, and what's funny is so then over the course of the next week, I would pick it up and I'd go, well, why am I still using it? There's no flavor, just a little slight sweetness is all the only flavor out of it. And no nicotine. So why am I still spending money on something that does absolutely nothing for me?
Habit.
And yeah, pure habit. So within a week, I had dropped that.
So there you go.
I thought that would be difficult, but it was easy.
Right. And again, it also depends on everything and the routines you have based around certain things. Again, like we were talking about, even with nicotine, it's been proven and we know it's a fact that nicotine highly addictive.
Yeah.
Just like caffeine and sugar. Sugar probably the most addictive chemical or whatever you want to call it out there. I mean, I know for a fact. I mean, thanks to my wife, I've really been weaned off a lot of it. I still, treat myself, as you want to call it or whatever, using air quotes.
Treat yourself.
But I'll go have like today, went and had a donut, and just because it was right there, I didn't have really any breakfast. And anyway, long story short, I snuck it. I didn't sneak in, and my wife was with me, and I went and got a donut. And so there we go. But the fact that I, number one, have lost more weight, I feel better. I have better energy. It's truly amazing how much sugar is in so much of our food nowadays. It truly is mind blowing, and how addicted we become to these foods, truly because of the pure convenience of it. Which
and
again,
the mindless using of it. Because
right? That's what I'm
I
saying.
stopped drinking a lot of soda,
Yeah. Oh,
and we still buy soda. It's not like my fridge doesn't have soda in it,
right.
but it's no longer like, oh, I'm thirsty, go grab a
Yeah.
soda, crack it
Right.
open.
And
Now it's coffee or water
see, and this would
are
be a
my
great
two
thing
big
to have.
ones.
Unfortunately, Brian wasn't able to join us either today. Brian never really had caffeine drinks or sugary drinks, things like, well, he's had sugary drinks, but nothing like compared to what me and you have put ourselves
Right. Oh
through,
yeah.
because of his beliefs and whatnot. And I always thought, even back in high school, I'm like, dude, have a soda. Yeah, I'm good. Or we'd be drinking coffee or something somewhere. He's like, oh, no, he's drinking water or
Yeah.
or some, some kind of fruit drink or whatever. Not fruity drink, but a fruit drink
Like a
like,
lemonade.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I was like, wow. But now that, like I said, and of course, hindsight being 2020, which was last year, that's called a hook. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I know. I need a drum machine in here. Or somebody like Lyle who could follow me up with drum rim
Badum
shot.
chum.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
There
a
you
good one.
Um, the whole fact of how much I've realized how much better I feel just not having all that crap in me. But it's a convenience thing. And when you're rushing around and you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and doing this and that, and oh well, there's a Wendy's right there, a Carl's Jr. or a Hardee's or whatever you want to call it, McDonald's, and it's so many things. Subway, they all become so convenient because you're trying to keep on the run, which is because of our lifestyles that we've been programmed to believe what they actually should be, and we're
Well,
trying to keep up with all this stuff, and it's ridiculous.
that's one of the nice things about when I stopped working, when I had to stop working because of my back. You I became a house spouse and started cooking. Like I cook probably 90% of all our meals. Allie cooks the rest, and about once or twice a month we'll go out and get something. And when we do go to like In and Out, like we just went to In and Out the other day, like Monday or something like that. I couldn't even tell you like how long ago it was we went to In and Out, but it becomes a treat rather than, and it tastes so much better when you're not at In and Out once a week. You're not at Taco Bell, once a week. Like it used to blow me away at the restaurant when you'd have the regulars that were there every day. I mean, I thank God for them because, they paid the bills, but at the same time, like, how can you eat that same thing every day?
Right.
Like that. I mean,
absolutely. And that's like when I go out to California, the first thing I do, I'm like, we're going to In and Out and I'm getting a double with cheese, a large fry, and a chocolate shake. Nothing else has happened until that point.
Do you get yours animal style?
Oh, wait, what? Animal
With
style?
the grilled onions and the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now I gotta have
grilled onions. I was going to say, that's the only way to go.
Now, there's a place out here, I don't know if they're on the West Coast or not, called Five Guys.
We have one here, yeah.
Yeah, they're all right, but I'm telling you, dude,
no
I don't know what it is not. And the only beauty thing about it, the Five Guys thing is their French fries, which I could become addicted to. Because
that's the one downfall of In and Out.
Yeah, not much.
Their fries, I'm not a fan of their fries.
Yeah,
But I
but
am addicted to McDonald's fries.
yes, large fry every time. Well, every time I can sneak over there and get some. Um, because really, McDonald's is the devil. The devil, Bobby Boucher.
It really is. And
Um,
if I hadn't worked there in high school, I'd be able to not go in. But they hooked me, man.
now,
50% off food.
I will
Free
say
when I
that
became management.
when we were working at Cool Cat, we did have people who would come in and order the same thing every time because I'm saying addiction.
Yeah. No,
You know?
and I'm saying routine.
Yeah,
They got addicted to that routine.
it was their
And
comfort.
if they were to change, still come in, but change their order slightly, would have
Right.
probably thrown their whole day off.
Absolutely. And I've done the same thing where, I've done something different. I mean, just to try it. And it's like something happens that day where you're like, I shouldn't have had that. I shouldn't have done this. That's what caused this. And now everything's all out of whack. And, of course, you just use that for an excuse for something getting screwed up. But sometimes things good. Things will happen in a good way, and then you're like, well, maybe I should make that part of my routine from now on.
But is that human superstition? Like, we should do a show on superstitions.
Well, we can.
Put that on your board.
And by the way, let's as you can see on the board back here, the Random Kristian show on next Tuesday is going to be about the whole what I like to call gambling, but it's going to be about Bitcoin and the stock markets. We're going to have Joe Carter on, young kid who is really involved in doing a lot of this trading and whatnot. He's a high energy kid, super smart, just very talented young man, and want to bring him on. He actually, was very hyped up about coming on when I asked him. So he's just fun to talk with. Going to be a great kid. That's going to be happening on Tuesday. Cool. So we'll be talking about stocks and the trading and all this whole game stuff. Oh, I just brought it up to him and he was like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Okay, all right." It's like when me and you get going. I'm like, "Save it for the show, dude. Shave it. Just hold on. Bite your tongue. Make some notes. Do whatever you got to do. Just hold off for a little bit, and then we'll discussy then-y, okay? But yeah. So what's this? It totally screws me up when Lisa tries to help make the coffee.
Because it messes with his routine. He's so anal.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
I got to make my coffee my way.
Yeah,
which, yeah, I can dig it.
Yeah, I totally get it too, because I can, there's certain things that I just have to do. And, even though I'll let people help or whatever, but it's never the same unless I do it my way.
Like with dishes at home, just let me do the dishes.
Yeah.
I'll do it. That way I know they're done right.
Are you guilty of this? Like somebody's loading the dishwasher and then you kind of follow up behind them and rearrange all the dishes the way you want them in there?
I've been known to, but I've kind of, a couple of years ago when my back fully went out on me again, and as I was hitting, you hit 300 pounds, I was 3 pounds away, 297 pounds a few years back. And I'm gaining weight through the COVID thing, and I'm not really too worried because I'm not anywhere that close yet.
Right.
But yeah, so my back was out and I was probably laid out for a couple weeks, and I had to just let it go.
Yeah.
My wife did all the dishes, and I'd stumble in there and get a cup of coffee because I'm stubborn. Like, no matter what kind of pain I'm in, like, no, I'll get my own coffee. But yeah, you have to just. She cooked. She cleaned, and
it's not that you don't appreciate what they're doing. We don't appreciate. It's just we have our certain ways, that just like everybody else does, has their own certain way of doing things. So you want to do it that way. It's what it is, and yeah, you have to learn to let go. You have to humble yourself. There's a lot. I mean, it's one thing to take pride in what you do, okay, but there's also a lot to be said for humbling yourself and allowing to be helped, allowing others to do things for you, or do for other people, or not doing things. Some people don't want to be helped. Just back away. Even though you have a better way of doing it, you know what? Hey, man, that's the way you want to do it. That's cool.
I had to tell myself that I trust her. I know she's a competent person.
Right.
She's not an idiot.
Yeah, you're not saying
so.
anything like
However,
that.
she's doing it, there's obviously a reason for it. So,
in her way, in her eyes.
Yeah, and I should just shut up and be glad someone else is doing it, and I don't have to. Right.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And even though she's doing it completely the wrong way, and is we'll never get it right, but whatever.
Hey man, but whatever. That's her thing. And
no, I'm kidding. Like I said, everybody's going to have their own way of doing something. Sometimes you look into somebody who's doing it exactly. You're like, yeah, I got to do this way. Me too. It's like the toilet paper thing. Over or under? Always over. Always
over. And then when they tell you that that's wrong and the other way's proper, you're like,
you're a moron.
Proper? Like,
no,
it's wrong. There's no proper or improper. There's right and wrong.
And then other people will use the excuse, oh, well, I have a cat. Don't care. Train your cat not to touch the damn toilet paper, because then that's just gross anyway. But
I have a cat, and we have 2 toilets and 2 bathrooms even. One toilet in each bathroom. A cat doesn't drink out of the toilet. The cat doesn't play with the toilet paper. Never has.
Because your cat is so high and listening to Pink Floyd, it has nothing else to do with its life.
She's obsessed with Q-tips.
And stripping balls on Q-tips. Well, there you go.
Play with a Q-tip for hours.
Well, who can't?
Little weirdo.
Dude, I've just sat on the floor with 1 or 2, and there it is again. Oh, Q-tip. That's actually
anyway, no. The whole show on weird things my cat does. And we'd have no viewers ever again if I told you the weird stuff my cat likes to do. So.
Viewers and listeners. So, and by the way, I just want to thank again, since we are getting, Lyle's giving me the wrap it up cue. Thanks for waking up from your inebriated nap.
Thought he hadn't drank in a while.
Yeah, he hadn't, but a while is all relative to Lyle. He's a bit of a loon. His 3 hours is a while. So
okay.
Speaking of addictions and sobering up, we love him.
Here's what I'm addicted to. Speakers.
Yeah, electronics.
There's 7 speakers up there.
Oh, good Lord.
Only 2 of them are plugged into anything.
Dude, I was going to say.
Actually, there's 9 because there's 2 you can't see.
Well, and that's another thing. Shopping is an addiction. You get a rush from that.
Or they were all free.
But and I was about to say, there's other things like when you collect stuff, like all of a sudden you find something, you're like, somebody's going to throw it away. You're like, really? You want to throw it? I'll take it. And then you take it and you're like, I'll bet this is worth millions. And then you Google it and you look it up and you're like,
it's worth nothing.
But it's still cool.
But it's cool to have. I got this equalizer here that I really need to hook up for free because someone's like, oh, you like old electronic equipment. It works. I was going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I got 3 tape decks.
Yeah.
None of them are currently hooked up to anything.
But you got them.
But I got to take them in to go get fixed.
Yeah. Dude, that's what it's all about, man. I'm telling you.
I'll get one fixed, but...
Let's see. What's to say? I totally screwed up my entire week by telling Lisa to get out of my way in the kitchen. Yeah, dude, you don't do that to your wife.
And he's dumb. He's been married to her for a while. He should know better.
That's been, Well, now you live and learn. So anyway, yes, I know.
Okay.
As we
I'm
bring
addicted
our
to
house
talking on
band.
this show.
I know, dude, and
So
we are
much fun.
hearing from everybody on this show. So make sure you are chiming in, liking, and subscribing. We're on Anchor.fm for the podcast side. Um, there's also Spotify, Bullhorn, Overcast, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts. So and tell people about it because the more people we get in here, the more input we get. We could have just a great time. Again, it's all about having fun and enjoying things. Yeah, sometimes we get a little heated on some discussions, but that's why it's called the Random Kristian Show, because we jump from point to point to point to point to point, try to bring it back to point A, and then just totally go off again. So we're a crazy little roller coaster, and we love having you along. And speaking of love and having everybody along, Ireland, you're still number one in my books, baby. Albania, Russia, Jamaica, Germany. What's up? Come on. I'm glad to have you along for the ride. Send us an email, therandomkristianshow@gmail.com. Remember, Christian spelled with a K, Kristian.
Christina.
No.
Oh, no, not Christina.
God.
I've been thinking about that since the last show every once in a
It's
while.
my elementary school years all over again. No, the Random Kristian Show @gmail.com, or make sure you join us in for the chat here on the show. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2:30 Central Time is when we try to do this. So we're keeping a regular groove going on, kids, and we'd love to have you all in here. Christina Madison. Yeah, totally spelt wrong. And but yeah, get it all the time. Yeah, you have no idea how many times I get called Christina and Mr. Madison. Yeah, I'm looking for Christina. Being Christian? No, Christina. No, you're looking for Christian because there's nobody named Christina here.
Well, so you've seen my brother's last name, how that's spelled, right?
Right.
And bill collectors, when they used to call me when I used to owe money to bill collectors, before I got all that straightened out. Can I speak to Mr. Eckeridge? Oh, he doesn't live here, man. There's no one by that name here. You have the wrong number, dude. Oh, are you sure? Oh, yeah, I'm very positive. Mr. Eckeridge does not live here.
It's all good. It's all good. So, yeah, make sure you like, subscribe. If you want, donate to the show through Facebook or YouTube, and I think you can even do it on Twitter. We are trying to get we're going to turn it around and give it to something. And also, I'm trying to get people in offices to help us out with a little thing I like to call office Olympics or convenience store Olympics. If you work in a convenience store or you know somebody who would let you do some little stunts, nothing major, nothing life-threatening, just some little fun stunts that we used to do on my old radio show at the convenience store. We'd love to hear from you. So shoot us an email at Christian, the Random Kristian Show @gmail.com, or chat with us here online. And Tuesday, again, we're going to have Joe Carter on talking about stocks, Bitcoins, all the gambling aspects of the stock market, and this whole GameStop thing. Yeah, he's got some views on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Matt, I want to thank you for tuning in and helping us out today. As always, you are the skipper to my Gilligan and, the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson.
Could I be your Andy Richter to your Conan O'Brien?
Absolutely, except I have no
okay,
hair.
That's better.
You have hair, I don't. I don't have the big floppy hair thing like Conan's got, but, it is what it is.
In my mind, you do.
That's all that counts. I'll get
beautiful, beautiful flowing red hair.
Yeah. I need a fan now and hair. So, in the meantime, appreciate everybody checking us out and joining in. Love you guys. Let's remember to be good to each other. Help each other out. Just do something nice rant for somebody someday or once a day. You know what I'm saying? That's all it takes. Just a little nice something just to help out and be good to each other. It's easy to do. One little thing starts a chain of niceness. So bring it on, kids. Matt, thanks again for helping out. We appreciate you, brother.
Of course.
And we will say goodbye to you until next Tuesday. Yes, sir.
All right. Adios.
Right. All right, buddy. And again, thank you all so much for checking in and listening to the show. Like, subscribe. You catch the podcast if you didn't get all of this, or repeats on the Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Thank you to all of them for letting us broadcast on these little internet web ways thing. So, guys, love you. Be good. Have a great week, and we will talk to you next week, Tuesday, 2:30 Central Time. We're out for the Random Kristian Show. Peace.